You are 39. Another wedding invitation arrives. Cream-colored envelope, gold lettering. Someone else's beginning. You place it on the kitchen counter beside the other 3 that arrived this year. At some point, your mailbox stopped delivering birthday cards. Now it delivers reminders. Your younger sister got married at 28. Your best friend has 3 children. Even your cousin, who swore he'd never settle down, just announced twins. You show up anyway. You smile for the photos. You clap during the speeches. You tell everyone the bride looks beautiful. Then someone eventually asks the same question. So, when is it your turn? The first few times, you laughed. Now you already know it's coming, before they open their mouth. You answer the same way every time. I'm just waiting for the right person. They nod politely. You can see it in their eyes. They think you're making excuses. Driving home that night, the silence feels louder than the wedding ever did. Your apartment is exactly the way you left it. 1 coffee mug in the sink. 1 toothbrush beside the mirror. 1 pair of shoes by the door. People think loneliness sounds like silence. It doesn't. Loneliness sounds like nobody expecting you home. Rewind. You are 25. Your first full-time job. Tiny apartment. Second-hand couch. Your friends spend Friday nights planning engagements, talking about rings, houses, and future children. You spend yours learning who you are when nobody is telling you who to become. You travel alone, read books that change your mind, switch careers twice, move to a new city without asking anyone's permission. Every decision belongs only to you. Your mother worries. You don't want to wait too long. Your coworkers joke. Better hurry before all the good ones are gone. Even strangers seem concerned. Family dinners slowly become interviews. So, seeing anyone? No. You should really put yourself out there. You smile, you change the subject. Eventually, people stop asking because they're curious. They start asking because they're worried. For the first time in your life, you wonder if they're right. Maybe everyone else is moving forward, and you're the only one standing still. The life everyone misunderstood you are 32. Another engagement announcement appears on your phone. A beach proposal, perfect sunset, thousands of likes, hundreds of comments. So happy for you. Finally, couple goals. You stare at the screen longer than you should. Not because you want their life, because you wonder why yours never seems worth celebrating. No one congratulates you for learning to enjoy your own company. No one applauds the nights you spent becoming someone you actually like. Growth doesn't photograph very well, so nobody notices it. A few months later, your father invites you to dinner. Halfway through dessert, he clears his throat. I just don't want you ending up alone. You know he means well, but the sentence stays with you for weeks. You begin wondering if everyone sees a future you're refusing to admit. Maybe you've been calling it freedom because you're afraid of commitment. Maybe everyone else figured life out, and you're just making excuses. For the first time, you download a dating app. You swipe because you feel like you should, not because you want to. Every conversation feels rushed. Every profile feels like an interview. Everyone asks the same questions. What do you do? What are you looking for? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? You answer honestly. I don't know yet. The conversations rarely continue. One evening, you finally meet someone. Dinner turns into a long walk through the city. For a few hours, it feels easy, until she smiles and asks, "So, why have you been single for so long?" You pause, not because you don't know the answer, because no answer ever sounds right. If you say you were focused on yourself, it sounds selfish. If you say you never met the right person, it sounds like a cliché. If you tell the truth, that you refuse to build a life around loneliness, disguised as compatibility, most people won't understand. You simply smile. I guess I never wanted to force something that wasn't real. She nods politely. You never hear from her again. Months pass. Friends become busier. Weekend trips become children's birthday parties. Group chats grow quieter. One by one, everyone builds a life that no longer has room for spontaneous phone calls. Your apartment is still quiet, but something has changed. The silence doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels peaceful. Saturday mornings become yours. Coffee by the window. Long walks with no destination. Books that take all afternoon to finish. You realize something strange. For years, everyone assumed you were waiting for your life to begin. They never considered that maybe it already had. Then one afternoon, Ryan calls. He sounds exhausted. I don't even remember the last time I had a day to myself. You listen. School pickups, mortgage payments, arguments that never seem to end. He laughs softly. I love my family, but sometimes I don't even know who I am anymore. After the call ends, you sit quietly by the window. For the first time, you stop comparing your life to everyone else's. Not because your path is better, not because theirs is worse, because you finally understand they were never supposed to be the same. The life you stopped explaining you are 40. Another wedding invitation arrives. This time, you don't feel behind. You feel happy for them. And surprisingly, happy for yourself. One Saturday morning, you walk to your favorite coffee shop. Same table, same window. The barista already knows your order. Outside, families hurry past. Parents carrying strollers. Children laughing. Couples arguing over where to park. Everyone is rushing toward the next responsibility. For years, you thought peace was something that happened after life. Now you realize, sometimes peace is life. That afternoon, your phone rings. It's your younger cousin. She's getting married next month. I wanted to ask you something. What? Do you ever regret waiting? You look out the window before answering. I don't regret waiting. I would have regretted pretending. The line goes quiet. So, you were never lonely? You smile. Of course I was. Everyone gets lonely. But loneliness passes. The wrong relationship doesn't. A few months later, you meet someone. Not because you were searching. Not because you lowered your standards. Not because you were afraid of being alone. Simply because your life was already full enough that love became something to share, instead of something to fill a hole. The relationship grows slowly. No games. No pretending. No rushing toward a deadline that only other people believed in. For the first time, you aren't choosing someone because you're afraid of ending up alone. You're choosing them because your life is already peaceful without them. And that changes everything. One evening, Ryan comes over for dinner. His children are older now. His marriage survived difficult years. He looks around your apartment. The books. The photographs from places you've traveled alone. The quiet. He smiles. I used to think you were missing out. You laugh softly. So did I. He looks at you for a moment. You seem lighter. Not happier. Lighter. As he leaves, you stand by the window. The city lights begin to glow. You think about every wedding where someone asked, when is it your turn? Every family dinner. Every awkward conversation. Every moment you wondered if everyone else was right. They weren't. And neither were you. Because life was never a race between marriage and being single. It was never about who arrived first. It was about arriving as someone you actually wanted to become. Some people meet the right person at 25. Some at 45. Some never marry at all. None of those lives are failures. Failure isn't staying single. Failure is building a life around fear instead of truth. Most people spend years trying to meet the right person. Far fewer spend those years becoming the right person. The happiest relationships aren't built by people who were afraid of being alone. They're built by people who first learned how to be whole on their own. You don't win by getting married first. You don't lose by waiting longer. The race ends the moment you stop living on someone else's timeline. And that's the day your life finally becomes your own.